show Justin Gaethje anything that Justin could use 7 weeks from now? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I don't think so. I think whatever Justin uses at the White House against Ilia, he will have learned at a minimum 10 years ago. I don't think Justin will use anything that he learned during training camp last year, 3 fights ago. I believe he will use things that he learned 10 years ago. And moreover, do I think it's a good idea for Justin to be worried about Ilia's punches, worried about taking the sting off, worried about absorbing them, but absorbing them less? In boxing, that is one half.
To get a chance to talk to them and see, like, why did you circle that, right? Like, oh, you took that option because you knew he didn't have an answer for you there. So he's gonna sit back, look at what Ilia Topuria does well, which is everything, and he's gonna find out where can he fight him. You know what? I think if I'm not rolling dice, if I have to make a pick, I got Ilia Topuria winning by knockout because that's just what he does. And I know Justin Gaethje, if Justin Gaethje gonna wrestle, is he gonna kick? I'm not sure what he's gonna do, but I know Ilia Topuria is gonna get himself in a position where he can knock out Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ilia Topuria, knocked out Volkanovski.
He knocked out everybody.
Knocked out Charles Oliveira, knocked out Max Holloway. Who did he just beat? Oh, it was Charles Oliveira. That was his last one. Justin Gaethje, you can't underestimate this guy.
No.
You can't underestimate him. Did he take some shots against Paddy? Yes. Is that concerning? Because, when you take into consideration the precision that I just said Topuria has, yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that Justin Gaethje can't pull it off. Of course he can.
Yeah, he has it.
He's got it in his mind. He's got it in his technique. His grappling's fun. I watched a video of him grappling with Merab, and he was all over Merab. And that's crazy.
That's what they say. His grappling's just as good, if not better, than his stand-up.
That's where he started.
I've
He
never
started
seen
as
it.
a grappler.
I've never seen him grapple, though.
Well, he finished Bryce Mitchell on the ground, and he's finished a few people on the ground. He does clearly have phenomenal submission ability.
Hey,
Obviously, don't touch drugs before stepping into the cage. Ilia Topuria is already deep in preparation mode, gearing up for his most treacherous challenge yet, and this encounter spells legitimate danger. He's scheduled to face Justin Gaethje at the White House card, and everyone's predicting this bout will detonate into absolute mayhem within seconds. The pressure is massive, both warriors pack devastating power, so expect zero tranquility once that octagon door slams shut. The excitement is completely justified. Gaethje delivers relentless aggression and crushing blows that can rattle anybody, while Topuria has been on an incredible streak, displaying technique, composure, and lethal finishing instincts. This transcends a regular bout. It's a styles collision that could spiral into bedlam immediately. Every analyst is focused on what UFC insiders are forecasting for this explosive confrontation.
Not only is it a banging main event, look at there's odds out already, and it's crazy, these odds. They still have Justin at like a 4-1 underdog, which is, what was Justin his last fight? He was what is it, a 3-1 underdog the last fight? Something crazy like that. He was the underdog. Justin Gaethje was the underdog. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these, whoever the odds makers are or whatever, I just feel like, the disrespect is there. I mean, even myself, I was an underdog in my fight. The disrespect is there, but it is what it is. That's what we love to do as professional athletes. We like to go in there and we like to really...
Demetrius Johnson spoke candidly about Ilia Topuria's abilities. He directly labeled him among the most technically precise fighters he's witnessed in mixed martial arts, and such endorsement doesn't come lightly. This represents genuine assessment from someone who comprehends elite competition. He analyzed the cadence, the precision, and how every strike Ilia delivers appears methodical and locked in perfectly. The term surgical repeatedly emerged, which speaks volumes. Zero sloppy techniques, zero wasted motion, zero obvious vulnerabilities for adversaries to exploit. Everything remains tight, polished, and disciplined throughout his cage time. Ultimately, it genuinely appears he requires just one precise connection to completely reverse the entire contest, one strike, and everything concludes instantly.
Jesus.
So
yeah, that's why I just kind of went,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. And then, him fighting Ilia Topuria is probably one of the most technical, sound athletes that I've seen in mixed martial arts, meaning that his cadence of a rhythm when he boxes, when he hits pads, everything he does is like strategic, right? And so
It's also surgical.
Surgical.
The precision is perfect. There's no telegraph. There's no opening.
Yeah.
He sets things up.
Yeah.
The timing is ridiculous.
Yep.
You know, and then of course combine that with the power that he has. I mean, one shot is truly all it takes.
Yeah, and you know, Ilia Topuria can take a shot, and there's me talking to Justin Gaethje about that. So when I talked to him about that, I never want to give. I feel like every athlete has a.
He emphasized that Justin Gaethje isn't merely some reckless brawler. He's intelligent, seasoned, and when you listen to him discuss fighting, his combat intelligence becomes obviously elevated. This isn't random violence for entertainment purposes. Genuine strategy underlies his cage approach. However, despite that acknowledgement, a major uncertainty remains suspended. What tactical approach is Justin implementing for this battle? Will he incorporate grappling, start launching kicks, or simply plant himself directly forward and exchange strikes like his typical approach? This uncertainty amplifies this matchup's intrigue for analysis. When pressed for a prediction, he responded immediately. He declared he's selecting Ilia Topuria by knockout. Nevertheless, he demonstrated respect toward Gaethje, clarifying you never dismiss him due to his constant danger throughout every fight moment. Simultaneously, he highlighted the accumulated damage Gaethje has absorbed throughout his career, and those instances where he's absorbed clean connections. Against someone like Topuria, who maintains insane accuracy and never wastes strikes, that could become a major issue rapidly.
Talk to them and see, like, why did you circle that, right? Like, oh, you took that option because you knew he didn't have an answer for you there. So he's gonna sit back, look at what Ilia Topuria does well, which is everything, and he's gonna find out where can he fight him. You know what? I think if I'm not rolling dice, if I have to make a pick, I got Ilia Topuria winning by knockout because that's just what he does. And I know Justin Gaethje, is Justin Gaethje going to wrestle? Is he going to kick? I'm not sure what he's going to do, but I know Ilia Topuria is going to get himself in a position where he can knock out Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ilia Topuria, knocked out Volkanovski.
He knocked out everybody.
Knocked out Charles Oliveira, knocked out Max Holloway. Who did he just beat? Oh, Charles Oliveira. That was his last one. Justin Gaethje, you can't underestimate this guy.
No.
You can't underestimate him. Did he take some shots against Paddy? Yes. Is that concerning? Because, you know, when you take into consideration the the precision that I just said Topuria has, yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that Justin Gaethje can't pull it off.
Naturally, he obtained it. Chael's son entered the discussion and analyzed some guidance Roy Jones Jr. had shared regarding handling Ilia Topuria's strikes. Roy discussed slipping shots, rolling with punches, and discovering methods to reduce impact rather than absorbing them cleanly. Traditional elite boxing defense. Chael acknowledged it sounds logical, theoretically, and in appropriate circumstances, it genuinely works. But he also cautioned it carries substantial risk when applying that approach inside MMA. This isn't purely a boxing contest where you concentrate solely on hands. Numerous additional threats approach you simultaneously. What Chael truly emphasized is straightforward yet devastating. What succeeds in boxing doesn't always transfer safely into mixed martial arts. Attempting to slip and roll like that in MMA might leave you completely exposed for something far worse. And that's how fights conclude quickly, if you execute the incorrect movement.
So now you're going to grab him and you're going to teach him defensively, because Roy went into detail. And Roy said it had to do with dealing with Ilia's punches. Whether you're going to block them, whether you're going to slip them, whether you're going to roll with them. But you must, and I quote the great Roy Jones, take some sting off those shots. Interesting. It's very interesting to me. In boxing,
what he identified was straightforward, yet critical. In boxing, fighters can occasionally manage absorbing several punches before retaliating, but in MMA with those small 4-ounce gloves, that represents an entirely different situation. Absorbing clean strikes like that becomes significantly more hazardous and can alter the fight immediately. It also indicates if you're exclusively focused on reacting and absorbing damage, rather than completely avoiding contact, you're engaging in a dangerous strategy. You're not genuinely preventing the damage, you're merely postponing it, and that can overwhelm you quickly. At that stage, surviving another round isn't even certain, and situations can deteriorate rapidly.
slip, duck, avoid, roll, I could drink to all of that. In MMA, if you have a strategy to be defensive, you got big problems. You got big problems in MMA. You got 4-ounce gloves. There are guys in boxing, they'll eat 3 punches to land 1. George Foreman comes to mind. George Foreman's way of setting you up and knowing that you were close enough for him to reach out and hit is for you to hit him. He would take combinations, boom, to give one back. That can't happen in MMA. That can't happen with 4-ounce gloves. If you go in there understanding, boy, this guy's going to hit and this guy's going to hit me hard, and I need to parry it, I need to slip it, or I need to roll with it. If you do any one of those intentionally, you're not going to see the next round. And it wouldn't come down to who's better. In a straight-up boxing contest, it usually does come down to who's better. There is a puncher's chance. There are those crazy things that happen.
But now Dustin Poirier revealed just how challenging it becomes dealing with Ilia Topuria's distance management, and he described it as a genuine obstacle for anyone entering that cage. He clarified that even when fighters manage discovering slight success, it typically occurs only after they reach close boxing distance. But here's the challenge. Ilia dominates that space so effectively that he rarely allows anyone settling there comfortably, and that's when situations become dangerous immediately, because the instant he's within range, he possesses what Dustin called that fatal touch. One clean connection, and everything can reverse instantly. What truly impressed Dustin is that Ilia isn't even the largest lightweight competing, yet he's still finishing fighters consistently. That demonstrates it's not about physical size whatsoever. It's entirely about his refined technique, flawless timing, and the assurance he displays every single time he competes.
Or out where he was keeping my body, staying long. Kicking range or clinching range is kind of where he fought me. The times I did have success was in the boxing range, but he didn't let that happen. You know?
Well, it just shows you how fucking good Ilia Topuria is.
Fuck.
God damn that dude.
Dude, I love Justin. I'm a fan. I don't like this matchup for him.
Well, you know what? I mean, Justin knows what he's getting into, and it's hard to count that dude out. He's such an animal.
Yeah, he can land the shot, but...
And it's in the White House. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But that dude has the touch of death.
Yeah.
He has the touch of death.
And he's not a big guy. I've never seen him in person, but I was talking to somebody recently, and they said, no, he's 5'7", you know.
Dustin also addressed Ilia Topuria's mentality and complete skill arsenal, stating his confidence operates on an entirely different plane, and it's visible every time he enters that cage. It's not merely conversation, it manifests in his composed and precise performance under pressure. He clarified Ilia isn't exclusively a striker either. He's threatening on the canvas too, which makes this confrontation even more challenging for anyone opposing him. There's no sanctuary, no simple exit, because he can damage you wherever the contest travels. Concurrently, Dustin acknowledged Justin Gaethje's abilities, recognizing his toughness and experience. But he also suggested that Justin will consistently provide opportunities in a fight, and against someone like Ilia, that could develop into a serious issue quickly. Whatever quality he possesses, he has it.
He has it.
He's got it in his mind. He's got it in his technique. His grappling's fun. I watched a video of him grappling with Merab, and he was all over Merab.
And
that's crazy.
That's what they say. His grappling's just as good, if not better, than his stand-up.
That's where he started.
I've never seen
as
it.
a grappler.
I've never seen him grapple, though.
Well, he finished Bryce Mitchell on the ground, and he's finished a few people on the ground. He does clearly have phenomenal submission ability.
Obviously, avoid smoking crack before competing. Kamaru Usman examined the White House headliner between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje and declared this contest suits the card flawlessly. From his perspective, this represents precisely the type of matchup that deserves a platform this significant. He clarified there's one fighter who absolutely needed inclusion in an event like this, Justin Gaethje, and the logic is simple. Gaethje consistently appears prepared to unleash everything every single time he enters that cage. There's no restraint with him, no conservative approach, just continuous action from beginning to conclusion. Usman essentially indicated that Gaethje represents the type of fighter who's prepared to risk everything to deliver fans a contest worth witnessing. So when people noticed his name on the lineup, it wasn't surprising whatsoever. It simply made perfect sense for a moment this important.
First of all, let's just talk about that main event. Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Of course, this is the fight that we all knew, we all kind of wanted. And Henry, we talked about this before. Justin Gaethje was always on this card. If there was one guy that you stamped as the guy that should be on this card, it's Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is as American as it is. The guy that delivers the whole time, that delivers every time, is willing to really throw his safety out of the window to go out there and entertain. That's the guy that you put on the marquee, of course. And so Justin Gaethje was always on this card. I think the holdup kind of was, well, we want to see what's going on with Ilia Topuria. Is he going to vacate? Is he going up? Would he fight Islam? Or do we see what's going on with Shu? I think this potential showdown this last weekend, Max or Oliveira, do we see how that turns out, how that plays out? Or Arman. So I think there was a lot of things in play here, but you know, Henry, it is what it is. We have our main event, and I think it's a banging.
He also noted that once more, Justin Gaethje enters this fight as a massive underdog, something he's experienced numerous times previously. Being dismissed isn't unfamiliar to him, and that type of pressure can activate something in a fighter. When someone continuously hears they're expected to fail, it can drive them to display a completely different version of themselves inside the cage. It can make them attempt risks, compete harder, and arrive with a mentality people didn't anticipate. Even though Ilia Topuria has been receiving tremendous acclaim during his recent campaign, Kamaru Usman believes Gaethje flourishes in situations like this. When the chances oppose him, and people question him, that's when he becomes even more dangerous and unpredictable.
Not only is it a banging main event, look at there's odds out already, and it's crazy, these odds. They still have Justin at like a 4-1 underdog? Which is, what was Justin his last fight? He was what is it, a 3-1 underdog, their last fight? Something crazy like that. He was the underdog. Justin Gaethje was the underdog. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these, whoever the odds makers are or whatever, I just feel like, you know, the disrespect is there. I mean, even myself, I was an underdog in my fight. You know, the disrespect is there, but it is what it is. You know, that's what we love to do as professional athletes. We like to go in there.
John Morgan analyzed the matchup between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje and stated it actually creates considerable sense once you grasp what this event represents. This White House card isn't simply about rankings or flawless technical matchmaking. It's about creating a massive spectacle that people won't forget. With that perspective, having Gaethje in the main event fits perfectly. Morgan emphasized that Gaethje guarantees pandemonium every time he enters the cage, regardless of his opponent. And the incredible aspect is, even when Gaethje loses, it almost never concludes quietly. There's consistently action, damage, and moments that generate discussion. That type of energy is precisely what an event like this requires, and it's why this fight feels designed for a major stage like this.
Be the fight. I don't want to take away from Islam Makhachev being in this opportunity because he would have deserved it, right? But I do believe that Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria on the White House lawn is not the fight to make sense, there, right? You gotta have Justin Gaethje. There's no more red-blooded American wearing the flag going out there than Justin Gaethje, right? Especially knowing that we probably don't have much Justin Gaethje left, right? He's kind of said, I'm kind of nearing the end of it. So to be like, well, we can't do this, but we'll bring him back at Madison Square Garden, or you know, we're some whatever it may be. Like this is one of a kind. So again, not the Islam from a a meritocratic standpoint wouldn't deserve this. Of course he would, man. What he's doing, but I actually do like this fight. I think it was the right fight to make.
Morgan also favored Ilia Topuria as the pick in this matchup, and he didn't sound uncertain about it whatsoever. He referenced the streak Topuria has maintained, and the caliber of opposition he's already eliminated, which reveals much about his current position. At this point, Morgan views him as one of the most well-rounded fighters in the entire sport. The striking receives most attention, but he clarified that people seriously underestimate how powerful and dependable Topuria's grappling truly is. Because of that, Morgan believes it's going to be extremely difficult for anyone to defeat Topuria over 5 rounds simply by attempting to outfight him. When someone is that comprehensive and controlled everywhere, it becomes a genuine problem for anyone trying to match his pace.
If we're being honest about it, look, Ilia Topuria is the favorite against anybody other than maybe Islam Makhachev right now, and I think that would be a great fight. But I mean, we've seen the run that he's on, the skills he's capable of. He's the favorite here for a reason. If there is somebody, because like, I don't think you want to outpoint Ilia Topuria over 5 rounds. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I think people forget how good his grappling is, too. So you might be like, we've seen how great his striking is. You may say, oh, well, what if you had a real dominant wrestler? Like, he's a pretty good grappler, too.
Well, if last night didn't send you a reminder of that, what he was able to do to Max and what Charles couldn't do to him.
100%,
holy cow.
right? So I think what you want is somebody that can walk into a battle, take some shots, keep moving forward, and maybe land that big one. That's Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje can do it.
That's Justin Gaethje in a nutshell. Now, I think most people and experts ahead of it will be picking Ilia Topuria, but that's again why I think this was.
Ilia Topuria has already dove directly into preparation for his fight with Justin Gaethje, and that alone demonstrates how seriously he's approaching this matchup. Even with time remaining before the event, he's not hesitating. He's focused and preparing for the type of chaos Gaethje consistently delivers. That reveals much about what this main event could become, because you have Topuria arriving with serious momentum and confidence supporting him. Meanwhile, Gaethje isn't the type of fighter who ever appears for a slow or careful fight. He's pure action, pure pressure, every single time. With both guys known for finishing opponents, this isn't the type of fight that extends quietly. This contains all the indicators of becoming one of those explosive matchups people continue discussing long after it concludes, so now it truly reduces to one question: who do you think claims this one?